Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and there's been some interestingly good news in the world of gaming lately. And oh, player's choice. All right. Well, we just had the jazz soundtrack for like three or four runs in a row now. It's probably only two, but who cares? So we will get into that, but first, let's make sure we get our run going here. Oh, look at that. We don't even have to wait very long. Alright, randomize my shit. Give me some coins. Let's go. Oh my god, it's not Atlas in spot number 3. The curse has been broken. And we've got interesting start here, like... Alright, well... Alright, so this start isn't that bad, but yeah, definitely could have used something... Definitely could have used something other than Gust Volley. Or this isn't Gust Volley, this is... What spell are you? I don't remember your name. Wind Flurry. Yeah, definitely could have used something other than Wind Flurry to start with. Alright, well, since we have an entire build based around just drawing enemies close and using Shock Nova, we are going to want to continue to grab things that veer in that direction. Okay, so... Honestly, having that upgrade will instantly upgrade this run. Then it's just a matter of, do I want anything else present here? Because, see, part of the issue is that we've got multiple enemies that are going to be resistant to fire. So even though I normally love Tracer Barrage, this might not be the right time for it. Also, Bouncing Bubble is very iffy when you've got the retro floor plan going. So I think we just keep going for now. Alright, so some of the news that we've gotten. Let's start off with the big news of the day, which is that Team Cherry has announced the... pardon me. Has announced the price point for Hollow Knight Silksong, and it's way more affordable than I thought it was going to be. Like, this is a game that, just because of how big and immersive it looks like it's going to be, I was willing to drop probably $30, upwards of $40 for it. But they have made their price point known at $20. Which many of us are looking at going, yeah, we were willing to spend a lot more than that on the game, if we're being honest. But every action that Team Cherry has made so far has been very pro-gamer and pro-consumer. Even down to the point of them saying, yeah, we aren't going to give early access to reviewers. We want the players to play the game first. Alright, got anything here? We've got a fairy. Fairies are good. So is the cotton candy. So we've definitely, that's just amazing news, and it's definitely something that I'm very excited about. I don't know how that even happened. Aqua Beam. Okay, we definitely take that. And I didn't even look at a starting relic. And that is okay. It's not great, but, you know, there it is. And then I think I've already spoken on this, but in case I haven't, we also now know that the Deep of Night mode that's been announced for... Well, actually, that's the news, is that it's been announced for Elden Ring Night Rain, and it seems like it's going to be essentially like a hard mode, which the game is already hard enough as is, but because Souls players can't get enough challenge in their lives ever, and I guess I'm kind of included in that. We've got a mode now that offers, first of all, special relics that are only available in the Deep of Night mode, so you can have up to 6 relics equipped on a player, or on a character, but 3 of them only matter for the Deep of Night mode. Which sounds like it has multiple depths, which of course are probably just difficulty levels. And it looks like it adjusts all sorts of things. Which I've already mentioned, I'm pretty hyped for that. Like, I've been practicing Night Rain pretty extensively just to be ready for this bad boy. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, considering how down on myself I sometimes get. Glass Cannon or Anchor of Burden? I think... So we have 2 cursed relics. This would increase both stun values and damage by 15%, but lower my speed. Then this would be a max health reduction, but it'd be 20%. Yeah, I don't know. Which one would be better? I think because I have Aqua Beam, I'm gonna go with this. And we've been hitting pretty good cursed relics, so what I'm essentially going for is greater potential. In other words, one of these things is good for the short term, one of them is good for the long term. I decided to go with long term. And we'll see if that was a mistake or not. And yes, I could grab the chest clock, but that's basically going to reset my damage. As I believe it lowers your damage by, what is it, 15-20%? So... Now, that having been said, with our movement speed decreased, we need something that's either going to bring my movement speed back up, or I need something that's going to enhance my defenses. Grab that. Is there anything else here I mean, I kind of like the idea of Bolt Claymore. Just not sure if it's something that I should absolutely pick up or not. I'm gonna let it be for right now and see what else I get. Seeing as, once again, kind of looking. So, make no mistake, right now the world of gaming is looking pretty solid. At least with those two games. Because, unfortunately, other parts of the gaming industry are, let's just say, iffy. And when I say that, I'm mostly talking about Nintendo in there for some... Like, they didn't used to be the company of unmitigated greed. Like, that was always a trophy that had been firmly held in place by companies like EA and Activision. But now that Nintendo is starting to do some of the same things, it's starting to look like it's just a lot of these big companies are doubling down on their, profit first initiatives, which is starting to make people turn more and more towards, AA and indie studios. And you know what? I don't blame them. I've been doing the same thing for years now. Like, at the risk of sounding like a conspiracy theorist, the writing has been on the wall now for quite a bit. And I hate to say that because gaming is my favorite hobby. And it doesn't matter what type of gaming. It's like tabletop gaming, video gaming. It's just kind of been... It's kind of my thing. I like gaming. And to see at least that aspect of one of my favorite hobbies starting to go downhill because of unchecked, unmitigated corporate greed is really sad. And it's yet another good example of why sometimes, when I say sometimes, I mean just about all the time, it is not a good idea to let the market regulate itself, because if you let the market regulate itself, it generally doesn't. I'll grab that. Okay, so let's now grab you. Like, on one hand, I'm tempted to keep Shockwire as an extra defensive measure, but I think we just go straight for range. So let's see if we can grab anything else that's good at range. Here we go. Well, One of those isn't, but it is also just a good defensive measure, and that's something I was talking about wanting earlier. But Stormdraft is also good for defense because it tramples over and destroys enemy projectiles, which is clearly something I was saying we were going to need some help with. Not necessarily enemy projectiles specifically, but just defense as a whole. And, you know, I've kind of had a lot of the same problems with Magic the Gathering, in that just about every... We grab that because, of course. You know, I'm tempted just because it's colorful and fun, but this is one of those things where it's like, no, I have to make sure I'm saving the cash that I have for actual, like, effective things at the moment. Also, by the end of this run, we are going to be super sluggish, but very strong. Perfect. But there's also the issue of what Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro have turned Magic the Gathering into. Like, it doesn't really feel like it's its own thing anymore. It kind of feels like it's turned into, like, the Fortnite of tabletop gaming, with just about every new thing that they reveal being more and more about crossover content. Like, admittedly, I didn't have a huge issue with the Final Fantasy set, but now everything is more and more like is more and more like crossovers. Is the most recent thing revealed was their like Spider-Man thing, and I'm just sitting here going, okay, but what about original Magic the Gathering content? What about those of us that aren't looking to use every set that comes out as some sort of weird collector's tool? Like, can we just have, you know, a card game? Like, is that asking too much? And the answer, unfortunately, is kind of like an unmitigated yes. That is asking too much. The shareholders demand more crossovers because that makes them money. Like, it's very much not a game for the players anymore. It's a game for the It's the game for the collectors and the shareholders. That's kind of about it, which is largely why I haven't really done anything with Magic in a long time. Like, I don't feel drawn to play the game because I know that, like, and especially after the Lord of the Rings set, speaking of just endless crossover content, when the most powerful deck in the format isn't about, you know, what has the best synergy or best combo potential. It really is just about putting the most expensive cards all together in one deck. That's not you know, about playing the game or playing the game effectively or creating the most interesting combos or strategies. It's about, you know, just collecting the most powerful, most expensive broken cards and just declaring that you win because you spent the most money on it. Like, that's not how any of this is supposed to work, but shit, it's how it works now. So, the hell with game theory, the hell with crafting decent synergies and combos and using decent strategy to battle your opponents. The hell with, you know, player choice and expression. Now it's just all about who can spend the most money on their deck. And some would argue that it's been that way for a while, especially what with the power creep that's been coming into the game. Not even steadily, just for a long, long time. Why do I keep thinking that Aqua Beam is my B button spell? Probably should have gone and grabbed Kasim's Airy Cloak, but oh well. More room for cursed relics. A curse is upon thee! What a horrible night to have a curse. Go bird! There we go. That's a big no thank you from me, sir. There we go. So, whatever your opinion on Magic the Gathering might be, that's just kind of where I've been coming from on that topic. I'm just really not happy with the direction that they've been choosing to take. It's not about player choice, it's not about player agency. It's all about, you know, the goddamn usual. And I think that's really sad because the game has been going strong since the 90s. It's one of those things that I kind of grew up with. Like I really love the idea of a strategic card game. But seeing what the game has turned into does not fill me with. It doesn't fill me with the joy, guys. I hate to say it. It does not spark joy. And when something stops sparking joy, that's when I decide I would rather not spend money on it. Like, that's just as simple as it gets. The sluggishness is real. But... alright, this also isn't doing me a ton of good. Okay, gonna need to grab a potion pretty soon here. Hold on. Actually... Alright, so we're kind of taking a bit of a risk, but I do think the dynamic disarray is worth it. I mean, don't get me wrong, Storm Draft is good, but dynamic disarray just lends itself very well to the idea of ranged control, and that, I think, is what we really need right now. It doesn't matter if I'm sluggish if I don't have to move. See what I mean? Now this might just be my playstyle starting to really come into its own, but it's just that's just kind of what I noted. Also, the jewelry box was a great pickup. Through walls even. Man. See, and this is why I like playing zoning characters in fighting games too, even if they're not necessarily the strongest choices. It's just my playstyle, it's what I like doing. Owie. Alright. Last one. At this point, it's almost a meme, but we do it because, you know, survivability and greater offense. It provides both. It both protect and attack. Yeah, never mind the idea that these things are about as expensive as American healthcare right now. Very nice. Alright, anything else that should be picked up? And I say yes. Boy, thank goodness that was on sale for my entire life savings. Man, what a steal. Okay. This is like the one time where the fairy threw me off. All right. I do love my chest knights, but I think I'm going to stick with what I have. As this run has become a pretty strong run just based around these low cooldown, just quick projectiles. Alright, lovely. Well, this has been a very interesting run, a very fun run. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this run as much as I have. And yes, I know that won't do anything to Sura, I don't care. I just like putting these together. I also hope you guys are as hyped for Silksong and the Deep of Night mode as I am. I've been really looking forward to both of these things now, pretty much over the last couple of weeks, and I'm really hyped to share both with you. Though I'm suspecting that many of you will also be playing Silksong, so it's not like I'm going to be showing you anything that you aren't already aware of. Alright, not a bad run at all. See, sometimes being a little sluggish doesn't hurt at all. And just to check, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So half of my relics were cursed by the time we were done there. I would say it was a cursed run, but hey, we did it. No, the last run was cursed. This run was fun. And you guys know how I feel about fun runs. They just make you feel all good inside. Just like Silk Song. And we only have a few days to wait for that one to actually release. And it feels so surreal to say that after so long, but... Ooh, I am hyped. I'm hyped for Night Rain, I'm hyped for Silk Song. Like, these are the two things that are really keeping gaming alive for me right now. And I hate to say it like that because I'm not the sort of person that looks upon the gaming industry with doom and gloom, but right now we don't have a choice but to look at it that way just because everything is all about, you know, invasion of privacy this and the lack of ownership that. It feels so wrong, but I'm not going to dwell on that anymore. I'm just going to say thank you guys for coming and spending your free time here with me today. I very much appreciate it. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Wolkering. You take care.